Hey there, friends. Welcome to your weekly energy update. I am seeing some really exciting news for the week ahead having to do with structure, creativity, and abundance. So I'm excited to take a look. As usual, you can grab a private reading with me down below. And let's take a look at what we have for the week ahead. So our first card that is showing up is our Ace of Wands. And as you can see with the Ace of Wands, it's just kind of bursting with life and with energy. As you may know, the wands represent the element of fire, which is the creative drive, the engine behind what it is that we're doing in life. It's that fiery energy that can propel us into new and wonderful and interesting things. It's also the growing process. So you can see that there's a hand that's coming out of the heavens, which means it's like something that sort of arrives spontaneously, mysteriously, and it's got the wand and it's starting to bloom greenery around it. You can see the light behind is really alive and fresh. So this tends to mean that there's going to be a burst of energy, a burst of creative power, and all of the aces they're sort of unstructured. It's energy that comes in that doesn't necessarily have its direction just yet. So this can show up as like a big insight or just a creative burst, but it's not necessarily saying this energy needs to be used in this direction or in that direction. So for some of you, you might just feel inspired at the start of this week or as the week starts to go on. For others, this can be a sign of like a new meeting, somebody that really makes you feel lit up or intrigued, even if you don't know where that's going yet. Altogether, this is like raw, potential, juicy energy. And I might pull another card just to get a bit more information there, because some of what's actually being asked is to bring that energy into proper structure. So here we have our Emperor card, and our Emperor is the master of structure, the master of systems, the master of creating step-by-step ways of moving things forward. So if you think of what like an emperor does, an emperor has to rule an entire kingdom, which means keeping the agriculture working properly, keeping the economy online, making sure that the military is healthy. All the different systems and structures that are there have to be working in order so that the kingdom is moving forward properly. So we're wanting to take this energy, this inspired energy, and place it into a system that helps refine where is this energy trying to go, how can I use it appropriately, a system that starts to get curious about what's the long-term plan, what is it that wants to happen as a result of some of this curious energy that's showing up. And the challenge with the Emperor card is to not stifle the creative energy, right? So letting there still be room for some play and some fun, for that creative energy to start to find what it's actually about. That's one of like the universal principles when it comes to something like growing a bonsai tree or anything that's creative, is that there's enough structure that you can help it move in the direction that it wants to go. But that means that you're still listening and you're still in relationship to the spontaneous direction that the creative energy wants to go. If you take that creative energy and you say, I'm going to use you exactly for what I want you to be used for, it starts to diminish the creative engine behind it. But if you're listening to it and you're in proper relationship with that creative energy, you can use the structure to help guide it in the direction that that creative energy is trying to emerge into or manifest towards. So, healthy structure is important. And of course, healthy structure is only possible when this guy is balanced with the Empress. And the Empress is that vibrant, spontaneous, sometimes chaotic, side of things. And she is such a powerful sign of abundance, of feeling like there's enough, feeling like life is showing up for you in ripe and fertile ways. So some of what's showing up here is that spontaneous, creative, beautiful energy, if it's healthfully structured this week, can really move towards a kind of a sense of there being enough, an abundance, a creative place. She also tends to be a representation, she tends to be considered maybe right in the first trimester of pregnancy, which means that if you can take some of this creative energy and you find a way for it to land in life, which is structure, then you might start seeing something that's going to manifest in your life and in your reality a little bit ways down the road. Like you can see that something is birthing through you, whether that's a creative project of some kind or a big move or something that you're manifesting into life. This is a really powerful week to sort of harvest that creative energy, start looking at how that creativity might want to land in your life, and then dreaming forward what it is that you're wanting to create. So for some of you, this might show up in ways that are in your interpersonal world where you're feeling creative and you're actually coming into contact with individuals that have that kind of structure, that kind of leadership. I'm getting more of a sense of this being an internal process that's happening for you, that by the end of the week, there's a sense of what's really possible, of a lot of creative juice that wants to be harvested. I'm getting a lot of excitement as a result of just tapping into this energy itself, this sense of that manifestation, that potential creative juice and vibrancy that wants to come through. I want to pull one more card or maybe two more cards and just see if there's a little bit more specificity here. Yeah, something is definitely churning and changing. What's interesting is that with this creative energy, it's actually somehow associated with a little bit of internal constriction. In other words, there's something inside of yourself that could be feeling like a little bit stuck or a little bit tight that's going to open and release. It's kind of like there's a sense of new freedom. And the recommendation remains to use some of that new room, that new space, that new freedom, but to remember to ground it into structure. So instead of just kind of like letting that energy loose, like letting it, maybe doing some journaling, doing some planning, getting curious about what your longer term values are so that you can orient yourself in that direction, because it really is showing up as like you're heading into like new blessings. You're heading into a new time period of abundance, of blessings that are coming in. I call this sort of the deeper karmic turning. It's like the tectonic plates of your karmic world start to shift. So this is a longer term shift, which is corresponding with that sense of a pregnancy that's not quite here yet. But something is opening up that's going to manifest and bloom, maybe as we're entering into fall. So this is your reading for the week ahead. Thanks for tuning in with me. And I look forward to connecting with you again soon. Take care.